All right, Simon, thanks for sending in your footage, mate. And just for other people that might be watching this, Simon sent in his footage to hopefully learn a bit himself so he can teach his kid in a more effective manner. So thank you, Simon. Simon's a very good kick of the footy, but he just wants some teaching cues and things to help out with his boy. So hopefully we can help you out here. What we've done here, Simon, is I've got your side on and front on footage beside each other. So the first thing we look for, we're going to break the kick up into phases and we're going to look at your approach. Now, in this video here, as I'm scrolling through, okay, because you're just doing a walking approach, there's not a great deal to look at. So when you're filming your son, I'd like you to get him into a running approach. And the first thing that I want you to look at is he getting his feet active early? So get them moving early, and then we want him to hit a consistent stride pattern throughout. Once he's got the consistent stride pattern, then get him to contact the ball. Okay, so that's something that I'd like you to have a look at there. But looking at yours, okay, everything's going pretty well with your approach there. So just play that once more. So we're walking in, okay, walk, and everything looks pretty consistent. It's a lot easier when we're walking, but when you're filming your son, let's get him jogging. If he's comfortable with that, let's get him sprinting and kicking at higher intensities. So the other thing we look at is, are you keeping the ball in the channel, which you do really well. So I'll just highlight that. And again, because you're walking and it's a little bit easier, but so I'll circle the ball here. And as you're coming in, all right, we can see that ball does not move outside the hip region there. So you're keeping it nice and steady in there. So when you're looking at your son, make sure he's not waving it outside the body width, okay? The next thing we look at is your grip, mate. So we can do that pretty effectively here on this side-on footage. So I'll just zoom in. And your grip there, that's a lot. We can all learn off this, okay? We like to see that really good spread of fingers, okay? So you've got a nice spread of fingers over the footy. The majority of the fingers should be on the front panel, and you can see there you've probably got 1-2 fingers on that back side of the footy there, which is excellent. You've got a really traditional grip. So if we look at the front one, where you're making that love heart shape, so very traditional grip. There is no right or wrong with this as long as you can control the footy. So when your boy's gripping the ball, just make sure his fingers are well spread and then he can apply enough pressure on the ball to guide it down. So your grip is a really traditional grip and one that people have taught for many years. But as we know in today's footy, all the players grip it differently. So just have to keep an eye on that one. The next one that we're looking at, and you do this really well, Simon, is the ball lift. And this is something that kids aren't taught. A lot of coaches are just looking at keeping the ball low and minimizing the distance from hand to foot. We like to teach the kids to lift the ball to the chest level. And it's good to see when we're going through this. So we'll look at both. Okay. The top of your lift is probably there. Okay. So looking at the side on one, there's the top of your lift. Okay. And that is at about chest level. And you can see there's the ball there at about chest level. So number one, you're lifting it to your chest, which is really good. Your ball position, so you can see here, I'll use another arrow there actually. There's your ball position angle, okay, which is really good. Some AFL players, I'll show you some photos, some of them get it to a real horizontal, but we like to say, let's get it near that horizontal plane. So I don't like the ball at this stage to be straight up and down. I like it on your angle or even on a bit more of a horizontal angle there. So that's really good, mate. So something that you can teach your kid, and we've got drills that I can share with you as well. So we're lifting the ball to chest, okay? And we're getting it on that horizontal plane. As we're lifting the ball, so we want it when you're looking at your boy, as you're lifting, you want to make sure that balance arm is coming off. So you can see here, this balance arm is starting to come off and it's starting to come off. All right. So that's excellent. As we're lifting, coming off, and there we go. It's up. All right. So we really want to make sure that as we're lifting the ball, the balance arm is coming off, and that looks really good. Okay. So that's all the ball lift, mate. So encourage your boy to lift the ball to near the chest, encouraging to get it on that horizontal plane or near that. And that's when the balance arm comes off. If he's asking why, well, the reason is as we lift the ball, the balance arm comes off easier at the chest. if you don't lift the ball, the balance arm's got a long way to come off, and it can throw your body off balance, and you lose stability and things like that. Okay, so that's the reasoning behind it. Kids love a reason, so give them, this is why we do it, and then hopefully they believe in it. If they believe in it, they'll practice it. All right, ball drop. So at this point here, so there you're lifting the ball. Okay, I might just zoom in on this side one. Okay, you can see, right, just okay, you're lifting the ball. As you can see here, your wrist is pretty fixed in that motion, so it's set there. But as you're guiding the ball, look what happens to your wrist. So we're looking at this footage here. Okay, look what happens to your wrist. All right, so instantly the change in wrist, you can see it's now pointing down with your fingers down. So that's the wrist tilt. It's fixed, and then we're tilting it down. So that's a big one, and we've got heaps of drills to help you with that. But if you didn't do that, obviously the ball's just going to drop. So we need to practice being in control of that wrist tilt. So you do that really well, mate. So you can see, we'll do that once more. There's your wrist, and then you're tilting, and then your fingers, okay, are now pointing to the grass, whereas before they were pointing out that way. So that is crucial, mate. Let's work on that wrist tilt with your boy. You do it well, so demonstrate it, mate. You can demonstrate, and he can learn off that. The other thing with the ball drop is, so we'll look at the side-on footage here. Does this arm stay beside your kick leg? Okay, so you've dropped the ball, and the arm stays beside and follows the ball down. So that's really good, okay? Another key teaching cue. So a lot of people, this arm here, they pull it away. We'll do a different arrow. They pull this away, and I call it like a hot hand, okay? But it's good to see you're following the ball down here. And I'll show you a picture of Scott Pendlebury, very similar to what you're doing. So nice long guide arm, and that arm finishes beside your kick leg, which is your left leg. Okay, so keep doing that, mate. That's really good. The one thing with your ball drop that I would like, maybe it's a slight improvement, mate, but for kids, this is where they all struggle a little bit, was where does your hand lose contact with the ball, okay? And I reckon it's about there. We might even go, might be about, definitely about there, okay? So you can see there's your hips, all right, and there's a tiny bit of the ball above your hips there, and again, a tiny bit of the ball above your hips. If I compare this to, say, a Scott Pendlebury or someone else that I'll show in a photo here, you can see that they get all of the ball below that line, okay? So you've got a tiny bit of this ball is above that line there, okay? But it's only a small margin. But if you can just guide that ball down a little bit further, you'll get more control, and the distance from hand to foot will be just that marginal bit better, okay? So that's something, I'm being really picky on you, but I'm guessing with your boy, I'd love you to look at that. So see where it loses contact with his hand. So you can see here, you've lost contact there, okay? Then get a line it up with your hips, which is there, and you can see that it's slightly above there, okay? So I'd love you to do that with your boy. Film it or send it through to me, and I can help out as well, mate. So that's a big one. All right, so let's look at contact now. So actually, there's one more thing with you, with the ball drop that I did write down. Lucky I looked at my notes, and it's just, again, I'm being really picky. I'm going to zoom into this one, okay? So you've lost contact there, okay? And you can just see that the ball is edging out this way, okay? So it's going on the outside of your kick leg. Now, what we want to do is try and keep that ball in line with your kicking leg. So you can see there, it's just edging out, all right? And you'll see what happens at contact and why it's a little bit affected with you, okay? So when you're dropping the ball, let's try and just shift it in, okay, a little bit this way over your kick leg, okay? And that might help the position that I'll show you in a minute with your contact point, all right? I've said it before, but if you buy those, I think you might have one. There it is, okay? This footy here, this Sherrin Precision footy, okay, use that and keep that line in line with your kick leg, and that'll help. And I'd love your boy to use it as well, because it'll help you coaching him, and it'll also help him to give him those cues. So look down at the top of the ball, keep the line over your kicking leg. So that's awesome, okay? So use that one for your boy. All right, let's go to contact now. So we're going down, down, down. Okay, contact. So we can already see the position of the ball is at this angle. Okay, I'll show you a picture here, but we probably want that ball whoa, we probably want that ball slightly leaning. Sorry, we're just going to have to we'll go there. We probably want that ball on slightly leaning forward on that angle. So I'll show you a picture there. You can also see that due to you dropping it slightly outside your kick leg here, okay, the ball is again edging out this way, okay? So that means your foot just has to chase it a little bit, and you can see already the angle your foot's on here, okay, is pointing this way. All right, so if I go one more, there, see your foot angle there, okay, and then contact, all right, and that's why it may affect your consistency, all right, because your leg is on this slide angle, okay. I'll draw a straight line because that might be better. This slide angle, whereas if your leg was here, that ball position would just be a little bit better and it would be over there and you'd be more straight and you'd be able to kick through the ball. So that may be your main problem, is getting that ball slightly better in line with your kick leg. That'll help your contact point. And then that ball would just be in a bit better position this way. Okay, so hopefully that helps. The last thing with contact, mate, that I'd like to see you improve is that firm foot. So here, this is looking good, okay, that firm foot. But with your boy, what I want you to do is encourage him not to point that foot up to the sky, rather point it down towards the grass. So you can see you're starting to do that there. It's a pretty firm foot, but it does go, you know, keep it a little bit firmer for longer. So just encourage him to keep that firm foot in plantar flexion, okay? And that'll increase his accuracy and distancy by a mile if you do that. All right, so we've gone contact. The couple of good things you're doing here, mate. I think your firm foot's pretty good, but just something for your boy to work on. Another key point at contact, so we'll just go there. Oh, want to go back one. Okay, there. Is you want to check that this lower leg is close to vertical, which yours is, okay? So we don't want them reaching for the ball out there, okay? So try to just reflect on that when you're filming him. Keep that leg close to vertical. So you're doing that really well. And also for kids, I always say one of the main things is that their eye is on the ball, and you do that really well. So let's encourage him to do that. Show him your footage and say, look at me. My eyes are on the ball. My eyes are on the ball. Okay. And they're even on the ball a little bit after contact, which is good. So they're still on the ball, and they're still there, which is great. It's like a golf swing. Okay. So that's contact. The other thing that you do well, mate, is this upright body. Okay. I can draw a line here and you can see you're at a good angle there, nice upright body. You'll find a lot of kids, and maybe your boy will be back like that. Maybe not that severe, but they'll be back on an angle. This balance leg might be really bent, and they might even have like a curve shape. And that's due to a weak core and things like that. So again, demonstrate, mate. You've got a nice, strong, stable leg and a nice upright body, which is excellent. So that's things that your boys can hopefully learn off you. Mate, the last sort of thing we look at is our follow through, and you do a good job of getting your leg, and I'll show you some pictures to demonstrate, but you're getting that leg to hip level, okay, which is excellent. So again, if you want your boy, most kicks should be at about hip level. If you want them to get a little bit more distance, work on his flexibility, and he might be able to get that leg up a little bit higher. But for teenage boys, it is a challenge, okay? But just keep working on their flexibility. And then the other thing, mate, that we are showing there is that after you kick, which is you've contacted the ball there, okay? So you've contacted it in line with this footy, which is good. So we'll keep that there. And then you can see how far you're going past that footy. We want to get our momentum through the football, which is great. Okay, the faster you go, the more steps you want and the more momentum you want that way. Shoulders, hips, square to the target, everything going that way. The last thing, mate, I want to look at, and this is just something I wouldn't really be too concerned with your boy, but it's something just out of interest, is how far do you get this kick leg back? Okay, so you can see your leg is getting back a little there. We'll just zoom in a little bit. All right, I'll show you a picture here of Dustin Martin or someone like that. You'll find they get their kick leg back even further. And also how much is this knee inflection. Okay, so boom, boom, and you're at about 101 degrees. You'll find that Dustin Martin, okay, he will probably, he would get something, I'll see if I can do it here, mate. He would get something like, yeah, he would be much Sorry, that's not great. Yeah, but he would be less than 90 degrees. In fact, I would be guessing he would be something like that, be 45 degrees, where he's getting this heel closer to his butt. And the closer you can get it there, obviously, the more power you can generate through. So that's just something out of interest, mate. Okay, so really, great job, mate. I think don't doubt yourself. You've got the kick there to teach your kid yourself. And you've got all the tools there. Film him exactly like I've done. Use the teaching cues I've done if you like. But he will learn by watching you. So just in reflection, the key things, you're doing so many things well, but I think probably the key thing for you is keeping that ball in line with your kick leg. And then that'll help your contact point as well. If you do that, I think everything else will fix. One thing that I did forget, and I've just looked at my notes here, is I'm just going to compare, and I don't think it's a bad thing at all, but just to show you the difference. Okay, your arm here is quite straight, whereas when I compare you to, let's have a look at Shannon Hearn, his arm is a lot more flexed. So maybe have a play with that and just see on your ball lift, your arm can be slightly flexed and comfortable in that position. Okay, so that's just something I forgot to mention, mate. I'm sorry, but yeah, have a play with it and have a look. It looks comfortable to me, but as I said, you can get a little bit more flex in your arm. So this arm might actually look like, a little bit more flex like that. So it's only a small shift. All right, Simon, legend, good luck. Send through your boys' footage, mate, and as well, and we can have a look. But thanks for sending it in. I think it's a great thing you're doing. And hopefully, yeah, you enjoy your footy and enjoy your son's footy. All the best. Thanks, mate. Okay, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, if you can please hit the subscribe button. Also watch a couple of videos linked in here, and if you can put those alerts on so you know when our new videos drop. Thanks for watching.